Hello. Welcome to a special episode of Tales of Evrand. This is going to be a short but maybe impactful session. We will be following a very recent guest character played by Gemma named Celia, as her and her refound brother Gabriel will be traveling to a city very, very far away where they're supposed to meet up the party later on. This has everything to do with the current Blackmore situation, the current vampires, and I thought it'd be good to tell this story because instead of just having it in the background, uh, because things can happen. So, without further ado, Gemma, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm a little ready. Um, let's dive into this game. So, we pick up as Gabriel and Ada are at the entrance, or exit, I should say, of this ancient ruin underneath the ice in the White Crest Mountains. We start on Elysius the 7th, 2 days behind the current story as of right now, where it would be Elysius the 9th. Celia, the day prior to this was almost a day of, well, it was a day where the entire party, along with Gabriel, convinced you in some form that what your father, Oberyn, is trying to do, basically commit genocide and kill every mortal, is wrong. You've lived with him your entire life. You've been brainwashed to think that this is correct. At least this is what the party has been telling you and what Gabriel's been telling you. You reunited with your brother, who seemed to have genuine feelings of remorse and genuine feelings of sadness for what your state has become. And the night previous, you were left in a room by yourself to think about this. The next morning, Gabriel got up with the party and led them out of the ruins underneath the ice, led them to a friend of his known as Koza. So before we jump into travels and before Gabriel gets back, which will have an hour or so, is there anything that Celia is doing in this underground ruin?
I don't think there's too much. I think, obviously, once everyone's kind of vacated after a little bit, she would have just gotten up and just kind of, had a little bit of a poke around, just because it's been so long. Gabriel's been down here for so long. I think it's just like she's not deliberately trying to like find or like get anything. I think it's just a thing of just like wanting to then be able to reconnect, just see like, okay, well, what has he been doing down here? Like, this has been the place where he's been, just wanting to like understand it as well, I suppose. So yeah, she'll just wander around and eventually probably just seat herself back in that dining hall area.
Okay.
Just kind of, kick back a little, have a little ocarina out, just pass the time until Gabe gets back.
Okay. As you peruse the halls, like I mentioned before, there are 3 separate rooms that were actually carved out. And you get the gist that they were kind of created to simulate the family. Just for a room for you, him, and Oberyn. Or Serafina. As you walk around the halls, there's not... It's odd. He's been here for 30 years. But it just seems like survival. It seems like everything around here, there's a room that's filled with like dried meat, or at least frozen in a sense, that's like being stored. You could easily tell none of it is mortal, none of it is human or anything like that. It is all animal. You could see that there's different drinks that have been procured throughout the years, but everything here seems very generic. He's just been living. You do see writings of certain things, and just kind of documenting his time here, but for the hour that you're in here, nothing screams out to you that this doesn't feel like a home. It feels more like a prison somewhere else in the world. But he's free to leave it. Just doesn't seem like he does. Eventually, Gabriel does get back. You hear his footfalls, and you kind of right yourself a little bit as you hear him walking into. You're at the dining hall.
Yeah.
As he turns around to you and says, "How did you sleep?"
Well, it's not the most ideal of places, but I'm sure you're more than aware of that by now.
Yes, I am. I was talking with Ada before he left. Seems that Vey wanted him to bring us to their home. If we agreed, we'd have to stay here for at least 3 days. Does that sound okay?
Well, if the others are going to take the time anyways, I imagine we have the time.
Well, is there anything you want to eat or drink, or would you like to be left alone?
Well, dinner, I suppose, last night was a bit disappointing. Perhaps something else.
I don't have mortals, if that's what you're saying.
Well, okay, maybe not mortals, but I did see that you had some meats or whatever you have back there.
Will that suffice? I know that you've been not keen on eating actual food.
Will suffice.
All right. And he walks off, and I will say he's going to cook a meal. It looks like venison. It looks like maybe some sort of deer or elk. But for the next 3 days, and I didn't say this at the beginning of the thing, there will be time jumps, lots of them, because short session, a lot of travel. So for the next 3 days, as you both wait, is there anything you want to do or talk about, or is this kind of a moment where Celia is just kind of keeping to herself?
Yeah, I think it'd be largely her just keeping to herself. It's been a weird time. A lot of things that she's having to reconsider and rethink. So I think she does like attempts just of small talk with Gabriel. She doesn't want to get into anything big,
Okay.
anything that's going to be too,
Yeah.
strenuous on the mind, I suppose. But yeah, but I think it's very much awkward. It's not like
Oh yeah, it's like going to a family reunion and you don't know anybody, and you just have to stand there, or going to a dance and you're just off in the corner. It's very awkward because you guys have not seen each other for 30 years, so there's this disconnect of what do we talk about, what do we even have in common other than our dad's possibly an asshole. So for the next 3 days it's very quiet. You both wake up, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, but conversation is short. And it's the same thing for the next 3 days until there is a shudder and a sound that you hear off in the hall. You both kind of look around and you see a very very familiar face, very long white hair, very blue, everything blue and aquamarine. As you look over and he waves, and it is Ada as he says, "Oh, hello, you two. I came to pick you up. Are you ready?"
Been ready for the past couple of days.
I understand. I'm glad that you haven't killed each other. You're both still alive.
Yes, both still alive.
Can we go, Ada, please? Yes, of course. Just stand there. And he walks over, and you watch as he places his hand on the ground and casts teleport, and all three of you disappear and reappear in the city of, where's it at? Where did I do with it? Here it is. Of Sangsa. And this is the first time you have ever seen this. You appear next to what looks like a large, like almost shop of sorts. But it is, everything around you is made of ice and made in these amazing geometrical shapes. And there's a river right off the coast of this city that looks like it's out of. It looks like it's fantasy. It does not look like it should be here or on this realm. And as you look above, seeing the sky for the first time, you can see like this different pattern of not stars, but it's like almost this aurora borealis that looks magical. It looks like almost translucent and rainbow at the same time. It's very weird, but very beautiful. Ada looks to both of you and says, "Well, Vey said that you would probably need help, so I am giving you that help. However, I'm going to be teleporting you guys pretty quickly out of here. Not that I don't trust you both, but I don't trust you both. So, we're here because Gabriel was saying that you all have a long travel ahead of you, and that your father likes to spy on you. Is that correct?"
Yes, he likes to be able to have eyes on things that are important to him.
Yes, that is why I've kept to myself underneath the ruins, is it stops that magic. And I think, well, at least for myself, I would be putting us more in danger. Very well. Step through this door, and, well, there'll be someone meeting you on the other side. They have something for you both. And once you get that item, I'll be transporting you to the bottom of the White Crests, and then we'll be parting ways. Sound good?
Perfect.
So you all walk in, and there is multiple people kind of tinkering on things, and you can see magical sparks flying up from these things that they're working on. As soon as you walk in, you see a man with a cane with half of the face kind of like scaled over. You see wearing a long trench coat, but it also looks like more ornate, and it doesn't look like he's from here, but it looks like he's starting to wear the customs. As you look over, and he says, "Hi, I'm Gideon. Are you two the vampires?"
Yes, we are the vampires.
"Right. I have something for you at Ada's request. I just have a question. I have questions. One, I've heard that you're related to Oberyn, Blackmore, and Kyrian, and Ophelia.
Yes.
Why should I help you? You do realize those two people tried to kill us, right? They even took me and tortured me."
I'm aware.
Okay.
And I'm also aware that you and your party also were able to lash back in sorts.
Well,
Think
yeah,
it's
that's
fair
because
to
we're
say.
awesome.
Right, well, I think it's fair to say that perhaps we haven't exactly gotten off on the best form, and that you've had a less than ideal introduction to our family, but hopefully be able to remedy that.
Make a persuasion check.
Ah, okay, that's good. I feel like I've got a good modifier as well. That is 30.
Holy shit. Okay.
Wait, yeah? 20,
Yeah, Gideon's gonna...
Wait, yeah, 18 plus 12, yeah. 30. Right? Yeah.
Gideon's gonna make a insight. I don't think he can actually beat that. His insight is not that good, actually. Okay. Wow. Jesus. He goes, fine. I'll give you these items. But be careful, because my friend's pretty strong. You don't want to get on their bad side. You are going to help them, right?
That is the plan.
All right. And he turns around and grabs what looks like 2 necklaces and holds them out. And Gabriel takes one and says, thank you. As you take yours, you put it on. You can add an amulet of proof against detection and location to your inventory.
Hell yeah.
Basically stops crying.
Yeah.
So as you gain these items, Gideon briefly tells you what it does. And then as you are leaving, says, good luck. Also, next time you see my friends, please tell them, good luck. I hope they're safe. Kick some ass.
I'll
I
be sure to
will.
pass on the message.
I don't think she will, but I will. Gabriel looks at you and smiles, and then turns around and walks out. With that, Ada looks to both of you and says, all right, well, are we all good to go? That's basically all I brought you here for.
Suppose that was all we needed.
Yes. Hold tight. And he casts teleport again, and you all teleport right outside of Riffolk on the very edge of the White Crest Mountains. As you teleport, he looks to both of you and says, now, again, not that I don't trust you, but I don't trust you, so, sorry. And he claps his hands and snaps his fingers in front of your eyes. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's a 4.
Let me make sure. Yep. Let me roll for Gabriel. That's a natural 1. Holy shit.
We both suck.
As he snaps in front of your eyes, you immediately, you don't know how you got here. You don't know where you just were. But as Otto looks at you and says, I will see you probably not again, but it was great meeting you. And he places his hand on the ground and he teleports away. He casts Modify Memory on both of you. So you don't remember where Sangza is or what it looks like or who was there.
So Gideon's definitely not getting that message.
Yeah. Yeah, what's more important, Gideon giving a message or, the safety of an entire civilization? Who knows?
I can't wait for that to be the crux of the entire campaign, is that we didn't get that message.
It's just so funny to me. It's not even my fault that he doesn't get it anymore.
God, Celia's such a fucking bitch.
I hate that Gabriel guy too. He didn't even. He said he was gonna fucking say it, and he didn't. So with that, let me go ahead and take this. What is this? Boom. We come to the edge of the crest basin outside of the town of Riffolk. I will say, yeah, I'm going to say this knowing that it is meta knowledge for Joe, but you would see this, Celia, as you all are teleported there, probably 500 feet away from you. You can see a large tear in reality itself, a rift opened. You can see that there's now a camp that has been set around this, and in the center of the camp is a large obsidian looking glass stone that is kind of upright on this pedestal, but also chained to the ground, that seems to be siphoning energy out of this portal. Unless you got closer, you wouldn't understand or know anything else. But I assume you guys are just going to move on, correct?
Yeah, it seems like a whole lot of not my problem right now, so
Mhm.
I'm happy to move on.
Okay. So you travel for the next couple hours, and you eventually get to the town of Riffolk, a town that you have been to before. Ever so faintly, very quickly, you pass through here. It is a large farming town. It seems very generic. There's a lot of people working and tilling fields, and the only thing that is very recognizable about this place, other than the large town itself, is often to kind of disconnected but still connected to the town itself, is a large mansion that looks offset and off-put out of everything else. Probably some noble that lives here, some mayor. Who cares? Mortal affairs don't concern you, and you don't care about mortals in general. But you do get to Riffolk, and you start traveling through. As Gabriel, as you both are walking, as he says, do we want to keep passing through here or stop for the night? I will say I don't have a great track record here.
What did you do?
Nothing, actually. I didn't do anything. Some of the mortals found out that I was a vampire and drove me up. I stayed here for a couple of years, actually.
Well, I wouldn't be against stopping for a night.
All right. There, I did have a shack out in the woods. So we want to try to get into a tavern, but we'd have to get invited.
You were living in a shack.
Yes, Celia, I was living in a shack, among other things, of living underground in an ice cave.
Right, yes.
Follow me. And he leads you kind of on the edge of Riffolk, and then into the forest itself, and you see it's kind of covered with foliage and vines. It is a small little shack. It looks like there used to be a footpath that led here, but it's kind of been overgrown. As he goes over, he kind of tears away the foliage and vinery from the door and opens it into a dusty, cobweb-filled shack. One room, a bed, and the remnants of a fireplace. Is this suitable for you?
Suppose it'll do.
Good. He closes the door, and he tries to light the fire. It takes him a while because of the dust and everything. He eventually walks out and leaves you for a couple minutes, and you hear the cracking of branches and almost a tree falling as eventually he comes back with logs, puts them on the fire, and lights the fire and sits on the bed. Huh. It's been more than 10 years since I've been here. Hasn't really changed. How are you feeling?
I suppose I'm glad that both of us are still here. But also hoping that we'll be able to keep it that way.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what to talk about with you. I don't know what we even should talk about other than a plan, but even then, I would love to catch up. But it's been 30 years.
I
And
mean,
you got
well, it seems like there's not much to be filled on your end, at least.
No.
Shacks and caves.
I've been living in exile for the 30 years I've been out. Trying to figure out how to get back.
Were you going to come back then?
I was going to
I
try.
mean, you mentioned you're doing everything for hiding, but surely you can't hide forever. Evidently not. I found you, didn't I?
Obviously not. I was going to come back. But I would have just come back to die. Leaving you in the same situation. Except even worse at that point. Well, I guess not. You wanted to kill me this entire time.
Oh, so yes.
You said you were training. Kill me.
Well, like I feel I said before, Dad doesn't exactly like leaving loose ends, and
No.
haven't had any contact for the past 30 years, so...
You haven't been out of the castle.
What was that? Sorry, you cut out.
He says, you haven't been out of the castle.
It's not entirely true. Would occasionally have some visit to Limgrove. Deal with business down there.
And what is business down there?
Well, for me, it was mainly ensuring that there continues to be business down there. After your little display, I think was needed for me to reinstate my own position, and so, well, I made it clear where my loyalties show. And so, and other people down there talk about maybe changing leadership, changing the way things were there over the years. Well, I had to do what was needed to protect the family, I suppose.
So he succeeded then. With his plans on the town.
Well, of course. It's a long time planning, after all.
Yes.
To set up things with Isparia and everything. Wasn't like it was just a overnight decision. You knew that.
Now the next step is just to wait. And what? Move his army. And at this point, you hear a knock on the door. And Gabriel jumps up, and you watch the claws kind of come out. And you hear on the other side, "Hello, Gabriel?"
Friend of yours?
Yeah. Hold on. And he slowly opens the door, and you see this old lady human with kind of short bobbed white curly hair that has like kind of some black streaks through it. You see that she is very stout, like about 5'2", wearing commoner's clothes and has a basket. And she looks, "Oh, I thought I saw there was movement around the shack. Welcome back." Hello, Leanne. Sorry. And you can see that he's kind of flustered. He's like, shit, I wasn't expecting anybody to actually notice. And she looks past and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I brought you a basket." You can see she has a basket, and he goes, "Yes, Leanne, this is my sister, Celia."
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine. I know you. I haven't seen you in 10 years. It's been quite a while. I welcoming you back. Here's a basket. And she gives him this basket. And he kind of opens it, and you can see like a pie and apples and like some dried meats and bread. And he goes, Thank you, Leanne. We are just staying the night, passing through. I can't go into the town. I understand. Well, it was great meeting you." And she waves to you, Celia.
Smile back.
Be careful, Gabriel. She pats him on the shoulder and bye. And she just walks off, and he slowly shuts the door. Right.
You
He
know
places.
then.
Yes.
Does everyone in this place know?
No. She knows because. And he looks out the window and like kind of like moves the dust, and you points, and you can see like maybe 600 feet down this hill is this small little cottage. He says, "This is actually her shack."
No.
Yeah, she saw that I was in need and helped me. I told her what I was, and she didn't care. She still put me up.
Interesting. So what, is she actually a good baker then, or is
I
it
don't
more
know.
just...
Have you had pie before?
I haven't.
She's a pretty good baker. But I know you like to still drink people's blood and all that, so unless you want some.
I'm willing to try.
And he pulls out, and over the course of the night, you try the various foods that Leanne has brought him. It is actually very delicious. It is a new experience, being someone who has just gone off of drinking blood and, well, feasting on people. Because of your half human, you can taste these things like vampires cannot, and it is very, very good. And as you kind of sit there, and kind of wipe away the crumbs and everything, and Gabriel says, "They're not all bad. I told you."
Well, I admit maybe there's a couple of good ones out there. Surely not everyone was baking you pies and delivering you various other things.
No. Still doesn't mean they should die. Something to think about. And with that, you both rest for this night. At this point, waking up the next morning.
I will
Oh,
say,
go ahead.
uh, I feel like she would not want to just be like, outwardly asking Gabriel, or like, eventually get to him. But definitely,
You sneaking out?
at some point, during the night, yeah, she's gonna slip out. She won't chomp on the old lady, but she will just kind of mosey in onto town, and just, find someone that's outside of place, like whether it, like, they're just getting somewhere late at night or, anything else, just,
Okay.
nab
Make
a
a stealth
person.
check while Gabriel is asleep. So it's just against his passive.
That is a is that 22.
Yeah, you, even with the creakiness of this entire shack, you were able to get out of here without Gabriel noticing, and you make your way into the town proper, and you don't see many people walking around, but you are able to find a singular elven man who looks a little bit drunken, kind of walking down one of the alleys, probably walking home. If that is your target, if that's your victim.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they are drunk as well, she would just, go over onto under kind of like guise of, just helping someone that needs help getting home, and just, go through an alley, go through a street that has no one there and, is dark or whatever the shit, and just, chomp down.
Okay. You do so. Are you killing or not killing this person?
She is not killing this person.
Okay. I need you to roll a stealth check at disadvantage. Because as soon as you bite into this person, they're going to yell out for a little bit until they kind of get very tired from the blood draining from them.
I rolled a 10 and then a 20, which is sad. So that is a 23.
23?
I got a plus 13 to my stealth.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
What do you expect?
So as you feast on this person, you do get a buzz from drinking from a drunk guy. Eventually you hear guards kind of just making their shit, doing their shift and walking down. You hear the clanging of armor, and you set this person on the ground and jump up onto one of the nearby buildings, and kind of watch as the guards look down the hall, or the alleyway, run over, very looking around, and because there's blood coming out of this guy's neck now. I will say also, with your 23, they don't see you. So you smile as you kind of run away from the scene of the crime. As you do make your way back, are you heading back?
Yeah, I should head back.
Okay. As you make your way back, you do notice there is a notice board on the way back. You do see different types of jobs and also bounties. You notice that Gabriel's face is a bounty on the board.
She will take that down.
Okay.
And just gonna fold it and just tuck it into one of her pockets.
Okay. The price is 100,000 gold. You don't know if there's anybody else capable of even paying that, only than one person. And you kind of knew this already. Actually, you wouldn't have known this already. It's your family has an ungodly amount of wealth, They're probably the first person you think of when you see this bounty. And then there's this thought of, Dad put a bounty out on Gabriel, knowing I was going to kill him. And you fold it up and you put it in your pocket and you head back and make one more final stealth check to get back in the room.
32.
Yeah, okay. You sneak back in and lay down as morning comes around. It is Elysius the 11th currently. Wake up the next morning, Gabriel kind of cracks all of his bones and kind of stretches and what did you do last night?
Why are you assuming that I did anything?
Oh, you smell like blood.
Well, I did pay a little trip into town.
Celia,
I didn't kill anyone, brother, if that's what you're thinking.
do you promise?
Promise.
Well, that's a step in the right direction, I guess. Come on, we gotta get out of here. Or they, I don't know, go looking for the person who did. He opens the door. Let's go. And with that, you track from Rifolk. Luckily, even though feasting on somebody, not getting caught. Now the question is, how are you guys traveling? Like, what speed? And are you guys stopping?
I imagine, especially whilst they're, it's fresh in their travels, may as well just keep going,
Okay.
At least for, a good bit of distance,
Yeah. I will say, as each day goes on, the only thing you have to do is eat. So you don't need to sleep because you're vampires. And because you're half human, you can be out in the daylight. So as long as you eat every day, you can keep going. So that will cut down this 4 days travel in half, I will say. Not only because you guys are fast as hell, and if you really wanted to, you could just get there quicker.
90
As
feet
if
around,
you,
baby.
yeah, as if you were riding on a horse. You eventually get to a town known as Artis, and you have been to Artis before. This town or small city is very well made. Every building here looks to be almost newish, or at least the older buildings have been replenished and refurbished. It is a walled city. I'll just take you to this. It is lantern lit, cobblestone streets. It is a beautiful, small-ish city that houses many people, many alleyways, many places to hide. There is also a mayor's or nobleman, whoever, you never met them, never heard of them, but you can tell from the giant estate up on this hill in the back. But as you get to Artis, I will say, let's see, let me look at the Evrand map once again. So we'll say,
have token vision.
oh, son of a bitch. It's okay. All of these are like new.
Yeah, I see.
You would get there on the 13th of Elysius. Wait, where is it at? There we go. So as you get here, as you're walking through, Gabriel says, we don't have to worry about this town. People don't know me here. So if we want, we can try to get ourselves into a tavern or anything like that.
So being able to stay in a tavern would be nice.
How do we convince them to let us in?
What time of day is it?
It is probably afternoon.
Okay. Well, I mean, are you familiar with any of the places here? Anywhere smaller, we could always just knock.
No, not really. I've found it very easy if you can catch one of the patrons at the door and ask if you can come in. They usually look at you and say, no shit. So if we can do that.
Suppose that works too.
Unless you want to sleep in another shack.
Oh no, no more shacks, please.
All right. What about this one? And you can see that there are people going in and out. And it looks to be a tavern known as the Leaping Fox. This one looks fine. Well,
Yeah.
we don't have to stop.
Is there like any kind of uncertainty that, like, is he not wanting to stop?
Make an insight check.
Ten.
I will say his first idea was to stop at a tavern, and then he was talking to you, and it seemed like he kind of brought up the other idea. He's kind of hiding it well, but it seems like he wants to stop more than anything.
I think we should stop. After all, it's been a while since you've just been, you know, staying in the same place. Don't want to wear you out too fast.
Thanks. Oh, there's people going in. And you can see a group of people, and he looks at you and says, do you want to get this one?
Oh no, please.
All right. And he walks over. As they walk in, he goes, excuse me, can we come into this tavern, please? And they look back and say, why are you asking us? We don't own it. I mean, I assume you can. And he goes, can we come in this tavern? They go, sure. And then they just walk off and start talking to each other. What the fuck? As they walk off, and he steps through the threshold. All right, now you have to find a way in. And he walks through and just looks at you.
I mean, does that not count as permission for both of us?
You have to, you can try to walk in if you want.
I mean, he did ask permission for both of us, so I'm gonna just assume I'm gonna make a fool of myself.
You go to walk past the threshold.
Yes.
Your foot goes past it, and he goes, damn it.
Can't fool me.
No, I can't. You're just too smart. Come on. And he kind of goes over to the bar, and as he's going over the bar, he's like patting himself. He's like, you wouldn't happen to have gold, would you?
Would I?
Yeah,
Yes.
probably. Yeah, probably a little bit. Probably we'll say 20.
Cool. Yes, I can pay.
Thanks. He sits down and he says, can I have your strongest drink, please? And the bartender looks over and nods and looks to you.
I'll have the same.
The bartender goes off. He gets 2 drinks. It's 1 gold. He can mark off 1 gold. And you both start drinking a little bit through the night. Eventually, make a perception check.
16.
16. Okay. You do notice that there are some people that are kind of looking in both of your direction, but mostly looking at Gabriel and then talking amongst themselves. They keep looking over at Gabriel.
Thought people here didn't recognize you.
And he looks at you and goes, I've never been here before. Why? He looks back and sees them looking at him, and as he meets their eyes, they look away. Maybe we shouldn't stay.
Best to move on.
I'm sorry. And he kind of gets up, starts walking out.
She will follow, but as she's going through the town, she's going to be very aware of any other wanted posters.
Which passive?
And keep an eye out.
Perception?
My passive is 13.
If you want to make a perception check, you can, since you are actively looking.
That is 19.
Okay. Yeah, you see another poster. You see a couple as you go through the town.
Yeah, she'll just kind of do that thing whenever she spots it. She'll just kind of like start to like trail behind him. Like I imagine they're not just walking like toe to toe the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll just quickly take any of them down.
I will say, after the third one I rolled, Gabriel does watch you take something off the board. And as you're walking through the town, people are looking over it and like double taking at Gabriel. And he looks at you doing nice. What is that?
Research.
Why are you lying to me? Fine, whatever. He just keeps walking. You do notice with the 19 that there are some people. There are about 2 people that look armed that are walking about 100 feet behind you.
Does this just seem to be like a patrol? Or are these like
it does not look like guards.
individuals?
It looks like
Okay.
individuals, but they don't look well equipped.
Right. Do they seem to be, actively following us?
Mm-hmm.
We'll not make any splashes in these towns, are we?
If we can help it, why?
They're being followed. I'm guessing your preference would just be to walk a little faster.
That would be my preference, yes. Best not to shed any blood. Leave a trail behind us.
Right.
He kind of picks up the pace a little bit.
Should be able to meet it.
Okay. Eventually he like leads around a corner, and you see those people kind of pick up pace. And following him, if you are following him, he just darts with, the speed of a vampire, just darts through the alleys, and you kind of follow him, kind of leaving like this shadow behind you as you kind of dip through the alleyways, and eventually stops very, very far from where those people following you were. And he just says, I wonder why people are following us. Have you been here before?
It's not for me. After all, you're the one that's getting all the stares, are you not?
I thought it was my dashing looks that was getting all the stares.
Be the opposite, if anything, of that.
Still holding on to your research?
I am.
Oh. If you would like, we should go hunting tonight. For food.
I thought you were against the whole blood thing.
Not people.
Right.
Going to be harder to crack you on this one, isn't it?
I mean, pies are all good and all that. Dried meat's a bit, you know. Forgive me for being a little bit. Well, food's food, isn't it?
Yes,
Grown up on one thing, having to change to another.
understand. Well, follow me. Let's at least try tonight. And he kind of leads you out of Artis. You luckily have left those people in the dust behind you. Do you go hunting with Gabriel?
Hell yeah. Family
Okay.
bonding.
You both set up and wait. You see that Gabriel has used the apple and placed it in a section that's kind of out in the open, and eventually you do see a large male deer, large antlers, making their way towards the apple. As Gabriel eventually, you both are in the trees, and Gabriel jumps down and inserts head, yes, yeah, and quickly kills this deer in a very humane way, and eventually, over the course of the night, skins it and gets the food and the meat from it, and looks to you and says, I mean, if you want, you could drink its blood. Probably not the same, but definitely better than feasting on mortals.
You can try. Can't guarantee I'm going to like it, though.
I will say, this is something I never thought I would have to do as a DM, describe how blood tastes. The deer's blood, it tastes kind of like the meat does, like the venison. Where, I don't know what human blood tastes like, so I'm not going to describe that one. I don't know what deer blood tastes like
Irony,
either,
that'd be-
so
I guess broke would be irony.
yeah, probably.
I imagine, like, at least on a texture level, like, it doesn't have the weird textures of, like, other foods and flesh.
This is a new thing for me as a DM to have to describe.
Well,
It tastes fine.
cool.
It's not as good as mortal blood, but it's okay. So as you all eat for the night, Gabriel says, should we keep going or just rest here?
I feel like it might be best to just keep going.
All right. And you all pick up once again. It is now the next couple days of travel. You do get to a large 70-foot wall on the border of the Valamine and East Varian Empire. He looks to you and says, do you know how to fly at all, or levitate, or anything like that?
No.
Well, do you think you can sneak your way over that wall? I really do not want to have to talk with the guards.
I'm sure I'll be able to manage it.
All right. Well, I'll see you on the other side. And he twists around, and you watch the cloak of the bat encapsulate him as he flies over the wall.
Asshole. Oh, and then, yeah, she'll just find a place that has no obvious patrol and just scale up it.
All right. Make an athletics or acrobatics check.
I'm meant to be good at these. That's I guess still 21.
Okay. Yeah, you find Assassin's Creed style. You find the little divots and the little places where the stones are not flush with the wall, and you climb over and you get to the top and you look down. You're like, now I have to climb 70 feet down. And you get down. You can see Gabriel at the bottom just kind of looking up as you get down to the bottom. And he looks at you and goes, "It took you way too long."
Well, we're over it, aren't we? It's taking so long, then why are we standing here for this conversation?
I don't know. I just feel like I should give you more shit about this. All right,
Sorry,
let's
walking
go.
away.
As you all keep walking, you eventually get to. You would walk the next couple days. It would be the 15th of Elysius, and you would get to Hillgrove. As you see this, it is a small town on a hill. Yes, this is just Adoras from Lord of the Rings. That's what Hillgrove is.
So I've noticed.
It is a small town built on a hill. It is walled, and you can see what looks to be a large building at the very top. Gabriel, kind of walking past, says, "There's nothing really of importance here. I mean, I'd be okay to stop if you want, but we can keep going. There is something here I would like to show you. If that's okay. Follow me." And he brings you around the city or the town, and eventually you kind of start walking up one of the nearby mountain ranges, and it comes to a cliffside and then a drop off. And you can see on this cliffside, as he brings you up and he like points down, you can see the entirety of Hillgrove. With your vision as vampires and all of that, you can see this beautiful, quaint town, and you can see that there are people, these mortals, that are walking around. There are children playing and laughing. There are married couples who are just hugging, and there are people working. He looks to you and says, "Tell me, would you want to be the one that would slaughter all of those below?"
I mean, scenery is for scenery, is it not? Can serve a dual purpose.
But
That's
look
not
at
wanting to end everything. You know that, correct? There'll
He's
still
wanting
be
to.
mortals around.
He's wanting to end enough, and then he's wanting to use the ones alive, cattle, as livestock. Those people down there, laughing, playing, working, they would be enslaved. They would not have lives. Is that truly what you want for them? Take that away.
Or perhaps there's the opportunity for a different kind of sense of community. A one family uniting thing.
You know that's not true.
Oh, we still had lives, didn't we?
Barely. You... Father doesn't care about family. Be honest with yourself.
It's true.
Ever since
Everything
Mother
he's
died,
doing. And
is a
everything he's doing is because of that.
everything
For
he's
us,
doing
for
is
our
putting
family.
it behind the banner of family. He could care less. If he cared about family, he would listen to his children. If he cared about family, he wouldn't have nearly killed me. He wouldn't have sent his daughter to kill his son.
Listen, I agree. Things might be a bit misguided. I think we've had enough conversation to solidify that, but he's not evil. He's still Dad.
He's no father of mine. Not after what happened. He's not the same, Celia. He has not been the same. He's on a warpath. And he doesn't care who falls beneath him along the way.
So why do you think he's doing it then? What grand insight have you got on him then?
I don't think he wants to live anymore. I think he's doing it. I think he's doing it so that he can finally rest. But in his own way. I think that he's not willing to give up this dream, give up this insanity. He'd rather be killed than to stop it himself. There's no way Father would be able to go up against the Dagram, Istharian, and Valamine empires. They would destroy him. He's doing it so he can finally rest and hopefully be with Mother.
It's a shit way of going about it. It's not like it all comes easy anyways. I put in the effort. I feel like it's a lot easier if he just was out here to die, to piss someone off. Get it done quicker.
That I don't know. Maybe he wants to leave behind a legacy. Be a footnote in history. He's too stubborn to do it himself. I don't know. That's my idea. That's my thought.
Forgive me, but it's a bit of a conclusion, isn't it?
Maybe. I mean, you did ask me my opinion.
Yes, I did. But I mean, you said he was so different before Mother. Why? What changed then?
You mean, what changed after Mother?
Yes, I obviously know why, but what? What was he like before? You have a little bit more time on that than I do.
I remember I was young, but he acted like a mortal. He followed the way Mother acted. He was compassionate. He was loving. He wouldn't harm anybody. But he was also a workaholic. He worked a lot. That's who Father was before Mother died. And after Mother died, all I see is a devil.
Right.
Anyways, I think we should keep going.
I think that's probably for the best.
And with that, Gabriel starts walking off, and there is, I would say, a couple hours of travel. It's silent. But you do eventually keep traveling. You travel from Hillgrove to Keywood. Keywood being this very quaint. I have a thing. I think I do. I do. Somewhat. It's a very quaint milling town. You can see this small river that runs through it. At this point, yeah, as you walk through, Gabriel does see a bounty on the board for him as he looks over and pulls it off and
Shit.
You think this, as he holds it and just kind of staring at it, you think this came from Father?
Oh, yeah. Who knows?
At least I'm worth something. 100,000 gold.
Oh,
Maybe
well.
I should turn myself in,
What good would that do?
collect the reward.
And then what?
I don't know, I was trying to tell a joke.
Well, it
And he
wasn't very
folds it up.
funny, was it?
Well, I haven't been able to have humor for 30 years, so excuse my absence of such.
I can do that.
As you continue on walking through Keywood, it is dark at this point. Are you settling down or are you continuing?
I think it's probably by this time. Just been trying to be good, but I think there's still just that want of just, getting our hands on some mortal blood.
Okay.
But I think it's almost like that kind of like addict thing, like not quite getting jitters, but like,
Yeah.
like a little bit of like discomfort.
Okay.
And so obviously, they're in the middle of like a whole ass town. And so she's not gonna say anything, but she's not gonna let out, like, she's still gonna keep the pace that they've been traveling at.
So
and just
are you sneaking
get
off?
through. No, she just wants to get through.
Oh, so you're not
Um,
going to go for mortal blood
No.
here.
But
Okay.
there is that discomfort.
Okay. You continue traveling through Keywood. It is now, that would have been 3 days. So it is now the 18th of Elysius. As you travel from Keywood, as you pass what is known as the Sunless Marsh, you can see in the distance this forest, this petrified section of the land that is just completely encapsulated in darkness. And it is odd because at this current moment that you see it, it is daytime. As you continue on, the long street that leads to Dasto, you eventually, as night starts to fall once again, you get to Dasto, and Dasto is a much different sight than any of these towns you've seen before. Before you is a town that looks like it's in the middle of being rebuilt from the ground up. The trees are bare. There are multiple ruins throughout this entire town. You kind of see something like this. Oh wait, you're not going to see it because there's no lighting. Eventually it'll take
I
you
do
there.
see it.
Yeah, I turned it on.
Okay.
It looks like a town that was decimated and then is in the section that is in the time frame of being rebuilt. No history check needed from you because you are a denizen technically of East Varia in this section. A very long time ago, there was an individual, a warlock or sorceress, that declared war on all of East Varia and raised an army of undead. And the town that she used to raise the army of undead was this town. She killed the entire town and raised them as their army. And this was 50 or 60 years ago. And you can still see the remnants in the depressing state of this town. Almost kind of feels like home. As you walk through, you don't see many people. You don't see many people at all. And the people you do see seem not malnourished, but it seems like they're trying to get back on their feet. There's no real shops here. It just seems like people who are here are the only people who are still living here, or maybe descendants of people from those places, from that time, or people who were stationed here to rebuild the place, and they were given maybe free land to stay. But it is desolate, and it is kind of depressing. If you guys weren't undead and were mortals that would care about such things. But as you walk through, as night has fallen, did you want to try to find any mortals?
Yeah. Like I said, she's been trying. She has. But it's like home,
Yeah.
And so I think it's just that kind of thing of she tried, and now she's failing. And so yeah, again, it's not like she doesn't want Gabe to know. She just want to get the permission for it. So she will just sneak back. She doesn't care if he finds out afterwards. But
Yeah. Okay. So you make your way. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
I've been rolling so many 18s that I don't know what it's.
Been
so
rolling
it's a
really well.
31.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Plus 13, man. I'm a rogue.
I know, it's fucking sick, dude. Okay. You sneak off. I will say that you and Gabriel were probably maybe sitting on a bench in the middle of the town, just kind of relaxing for a little bit. Gabriel nodded off a little bit and you snuck away. You do see an individual who is it looks like they're tanning outside of their home. You also see another individual past that person that looks like they're homeless, kind of just sleeping on the rocks on the alleyway. And past that, in another area, you see someone over at a board nailing something onto it.
I feel like an asshole, but she would go for the person that seems homeless. Use a little compulsion, just to get them willing, because I'm guessing they're already kind of tucked away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use that compulsion, get them willing. Again, she's not trying to kill the person, but yeah, chomp chomp.
Okay. Yeah, you were able to do so. And as you were chomping away, I will say, you do start to hear very distinct boots walking around the corner. They almost sound like spurs are being claimed on the ground. As I try to find something that is kind of like maybe this. Is this right? That'll work. Walking around the corner, you see an individual that is dressed in a dark leather coat, dark pants, dark boots, and a halfway cowboy hat that is on top of his head. As you hear him say, "Well, if it isn't one of Oberon's children. Hello, Celia." And you see this man.
Hello, Vincent.
Now, what exactly do I have the pleasure of you walking through my town?
Well, I must be honest, I didn't realize it was your town.
Oh,
Don't mean to cause any grievances there, we're just passing through.
where? He looks around. I see just you. Who's weird?
Well, see, musicians can get a sort of attachment to their instruments. She's just gonna like pull out her little ocarina.
Make a deception check.
Oh, that wasn't that one.
You know, I heard that you're pretty good at getting places without being heard. Never heard how bad of a liar you are, though. As that happens, you can hear two more sets of footsteps behind you, and you look behind you, and you can see what looks like newly turned people, spawns of vampires. And he says, "Now, again, last I heard, your father, Lord Oberyn Blackmore, sent you out to go find a certain someone, a certain Gabriel. And last I heard, you haven't been heard from in a while. So I ask you again, why are you in my town with word?"
Well, suppose you could say I've had a different kind of success than what you've heard about.
Is
I
that
was able
so?
to find who I was looking at. Well, family business is family business.
You got me there. It's not my place to go poking around family business. Well, seeing as you haven't been heard from in a while, and I have been itching to fight someone of my caliber, what do you say we have a little sparring match?
Well, I appreciate the offer, but it has been a while since I've been home, and so I wouldn't want to delay any further.
Oh, come on, Celia. It's not every day us low vampires get to walk in front of such nobility. Such, well, one of the children of the Blackmore. One of Oberyn's children. You wouldn't do me the honors? It's just a little
Ordinarily,
friendly
I would.
sparring.
Perhaps in future, I can give you a promise at a later date. But, like I said, we're We're trying to get back. And so I don't think it's really something I have the time for.
Well, that's unfortunate. I have all the time in the world. And you see as he like moves his coat away, and you can see there are 2 crossbows loaded with stakes.
How far away is Gabriel at this point?
Maybe a couple 100 feet.
What I would like to do, seeing as he's a bit committed to this whole thing, I would like to try and cast blindness onto him, which is a DC 16 con save. But that is what I'm going to try and do because clearly he's pulling shit.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Con save?
Yes.
DC what?
16.
Okay. You cast darkness, and you watch his
Blindness.
blindness. You watch his eyes dull over, and he blinks, and you watch the magic fade. I rolled a 14 plus 4. As he looks to you and says, see, I knew that you would be willing. And as he goes to pull out the crossbows, you see in a flash this sword swing past him and kind of cut one of his arms as he drops a crossbow. And you see from behind your brother Gabriel, and he says, "So 3 against 1, is it, Vincent?" And he looks behind and says, "I knew you'd be here. Well, now this is a fight. And it's seeing how there's a bounty on your head," as he points to Gabriel. "I'm willing to fight." And he pulls out and goes to shoot, and I need you to roll initiative.
That is a 21.
Ooh. See if I can get fighting music. Oh, Jesus. Chill out. Okay. Is it 21?
Yes.
Okay. How much total HP do you have?
83.
Okay. Because you said you had 10.
What?
It said you had 10 from the last time when
okay.
Gabriel fucked you up.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. At the top of the round is Gabriel. So Gabriel is going to run over here. Oh. As he's running, his sword is kind of following him behind him, and he is going to take 2 attacks at this guy. That's gonna hit. 7, 10. He is then going to, because fuck it, he's going to action surge, take 2 more attacks. It's a 16 and a 19. I'm pretty sure that hits. Yep. sorry, just playing D&D by myself now. Oh my god. What? No. Oh, wait. Shit, I gotta roll dice again. 12. 14. Oh my god, those are really good. Okay. 12. 14 damage. Yeah, Gabriel rushes over and the sentient sword just kind of slashes out across Vincent, eviscerating quite a bit of them. That is now, well, it's now Vincent's turn. Vincent is going to yeah, he's going to it looks like he's going to mark him, and he's going to attack. You watch as he places the crossbow back, and as he brings his hand up, you watch a dagger just kind of form in his hand as he slices twice. So it's a +7. One of those do hit, and he's going to take oh my gosh. Oh, 1d8 plus 6. 2, 8 plus another d8 plus 2 is 10 total. He's going to deal 10 damage to Gabriel, which is basically nothing. Celia, your turn.
Okay. The game is paused, by the way, so I can
Oh, shit.
move.
There you go.
But I'm pretty certain I can. Hey, just in. Yeah. So she will, I guess, join Gabe's up here. Before she leaves, just like at the other vampires that are back, she's just gonna turn around. Before dashing off, just. Please just fuck off. It makes everything so much easier. But then she's just gonna get to Vincent just after he's, shot off at her brother, and is going to just take a quick little stab at him. And I'm just gonna roll things through here because I feel like it's easier, and I think it does connect through. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't.
It's fine. Just tell me the damage and stuff.
Oh god, why does this do it like that? Oh no, I'm never doing this again.
It's to open up your D&D Beyond extension. It's a little.
Be in. I can't even see what that rolled there because it was just giving me the damage. I'm gonna try and quickly fix that up. Let me just do a quick little test roll here. Will that go through?
There you go.
Okay, there it goes. Okay. Anyway, I've got no idea what the first roll is because I can't even see the chat history, which is dumb.
Yeah, just roll again. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think I can find that. Okay, that's 23.
Yeah, it hits.
And damage, and I don't know if this does my sneak with it too. I think it does because I just rolled a bunch of dice. So I get sneak because Gabriel's within 5 feet.
Yeah, 24 damage.
So yeah, do a cheeky little. I just have realized I've forgotten to check. I don't think I get 2 attacks because rogues don't, I believe. And so.
Is because you're more in Bard?
Well, because I dipped into Bard, and so yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't think rogues ever
Level
get
5.
attacks, do they?
Level 5.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, then I would. Okay, well then I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna take 2 stabs. I did straight to damage. That's awkward. So if that hits, that'll be 13 damage. That's another 23.
Okay. This wouldn't be sneak attack. You don't get sneak attack twice, so it'd be 13, right?
Yeah, just
Alright,
13.
Cool. Nice. Okay. You can see that Vincent's looking bloodied.
Yeah.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, she theoretically has the ability to just, dip out as rogues always do, but she's just gonna stand there, just, facing off like, you decided to fuck, so now we're gonna fuck.
Okay. Nice. All right. It is the vampire spawn's turn. It's going to dash here. This one is going to dash here. All right, cool. Gabriel's turn. He's going to turn around and slice twice at this one. I didn't open my extension, so. And this might be a way faster fight than I thought it was going to be. That's a 20 and a 20. Yep. 14 piercing damage and 13 on that one. 13 on that one. All right, the sword that was pointed at Vincent turns around, and as he turns his head, and it slices, kind of creating an X across this vampire's chest. It is Vincent's turn. Vincent is going to you watch as he kind of takes his coat and wraps it around as he appears up here. And he's going to take 2 attacks against you, Celia. Ooh, double 17s. 17 plus, where is it at? 7. So I think those both hit.
Yeah, I mean, 17's my AC, so.
Yeah. You're going to take 16 and then plus 2d8s. Oof. Okay, so 16 plus 5. So
21 total.
21 total on that one.
Cool.
Celia, it's your turn.
Okay, well, fuck him for going up there. I guess so. We'll just do kind of the same thing, and focus back on the vampire spawn that's right behind her there, and go for another slash. 21.
To hit this vampire.
Yes, the one right behind her.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
And this would have the sneak again. So 24.
24 damage.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's a lot.
Still up?
Yeah.
Okay. Second attack. 22.
That hits.
And 12 damage.
12 damage, still up.
Hmm.
All right. So your turn.
She still has her bonus action, and so she she will disengage and just kind of if she moves, like, are these like awning things? Can she like get out of the line of sight of Vincent if she goes there?
Yeah, you would be underneath it.
Sick.
Awesome.
Just gonna go there, and she ain't no bitch. So she's just gonna swing around to where the spawn is.
All right, cool. This one's turn. This one is going to attack twice at Gabriel. With multi-attack. That's none of those are gonna hit. It's going to flank around here, giving this one flanking advantage. But it's going to attack you, so it's going to take 2 attacks against you, Celia. That is a 17 and a 15.
Plus 1 hits.
The other one does not.
Sweets. Yeah.
All right, cool. You take 8 slashing damage from that one. It is back to this is the quickest fucking combat ever. It is Gabriel's turn. He is going to he doesn't even feel like he needs to use any of his cool stuff. These guys are garbage. So he's just going to once again take 2 attacks. One against the one in front and one against one behind him. They both hit. That's 14 damage. Yeah, this one in front. Do they? No? Okay. Yeah, the one in front, the sword goes straight through the the cranium straight through and comes right back out as you watch this one kind of like scream and start to turn. The flesh starts to burn away and it turns to dust and then just dissipates on the ground as this one dies. And then this one is going to get the attack. 11 damage. This one's still up. Well, it's not looking good. This one's looking real shitty. Okay. With that, it is Vincent's turn. Vincent is going to shoot twice at Gabriel. Ooh. One of those hit. The other one does not. So that's going to be 16 damage. Gabriel takes the shot and goes, "You know, I thought you were better than this, Vincent. You're kind of lackluster." As Vincent kind of just sneers and says, "Well, I'm having fun. I'm just getting started." Celia, it's your turn.
Okay. Gonna try and hopefully finish off this last little spawn that's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's at 27 to hit.
Yeah, that is.
And pachoo. 28.
Yeah, this one, you just cut the head clean off. And as the head gets cut clean off, it screams in the air and then starts to burn away and turn to dust as the body does as well. Dead as fuck.
And then, just looking over to Gabe's. Well, if you want to do the honors, and give him Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. Awesome. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right, he's gonna walk up here, or he's not gonna walk up here. He's gonna kind of like spider climb, walk up the wall, because he can. You're vampires. He's gonna walk over, and this time the sentient sword just is kind of gonna jab Vincent once, as he walks slowly towards him, because that's just cool. That hits. My browser's having a hard time right now. 11 damage. As he stabs him directly right next to where the heart would be on purpose. As Vincent kind of goes down a little bit. That's really unkind. Maybe we should talk about this. Oh, now you want to talk. Celia, please come here. As with this, like, eventually. This guy's not looking too great, but he's still up. That brings us to his turn. Yeah, Vincent's going to kind of go, "All right, I yield. That was fun, but I don't feel like dying today." Celia, it's your turn.
So, do we have a full spider climb? Is that just a thing?
Yeah.
Sick.
For now.
Sick. Yeah, she'll, I guess then, join everyone up on the roof. And, you know, what's Spencer doing? Like, does he have hands up? Like, what is he?
Yeah, hands are up.
Yeah. She's just going to kind of look to him, look to Gabe's. Well, sorry to say, but time doesn't exactly come free. We were just going to leave. That was your best option here. And she just wants to get her rapier and just fucking go straight through his throat.
Ooh. As you place the rapier through his throat, because he's a vampire, it actually doesn't kill him.
Also, I guess it doesn't.
He's like, that's not nice. Please.
Careful not to choke in your own blood. Here it's rather unpleasant.
He's just, yeah. You just have your rapier in his throat, and he's just like,
Give him some garlic aioli.
Because I'm realizing I don't have any kind of stake or anything. Can I actually kill him right now? Hold on.
Yeah, you just have to stab him through the heart, or chop his head off, or, you know.
Yeah, okay. Well then, if I can, since her rapier's already through his throat, she just wants to, even though, rapiers aren't exactly a hacking kind of weapon, but she would like to, just basically still with it in, just kind of like force it through the side of his neck. Kicking down it slightly as she has to. But yeah, her goal here is, let's go for the decapitation.
Okay. Yeah, it almost like a saw because it is a rapier. You have to slowly, and as you're doing that, you can see that he's starting to fight against it, and Gabriel just places his hand on his shoulder and holds him down as you cut his head off, brutally. You do notice that as you're cutting his head off, he looks past Gabriel, and then his head goes off, and as it does, it's falling down. The flesh dissipates and burns away, and the body turns to bone and ash, falls to the ground. Make a perception check.
That's not one.
I'm gonna make
It's
one
the
for
second
Gabriel.
that I've done. It's rolling so well.
Gabriel got a 15. But not good enough to catch it in time, as the one thing you see in the distance flying away is a crow with bright orange eyes.
Fuck. We should leave.
Fuck. Yeah, are you okay?
Oh, better than I've been.
Well, at least you got to use some of your skills that you trained against me. Not too
all for
bad.
nothing then.
No, not at all. Of course, still use some work.
Well, like I said, we should be going.
Yes. And with that, you all, are you heading out of Dasto?
With haste, yes.
Okay. As you head out of Dasto, heading towards Shradina, the large port town, to which apparently I don't think I have a map for anymore. Yes, I do. As you head to Shradina, let's take a quick bathroom break, and then we're near the end of this thing, so we'll be done here soon.
Okay.
But I just need to take a quick bathroom break, so we'll be back.
Bathroom break.
Welcome back. So, we're going to dive back into it after Gabriel and Celia encountering one of the known vampires, but lesser known, a bounty hunter known as Vincent Hatfield. He, well, got decapitated. Celia killed his ass. He's dead. He's gone. No remorse. That's what we love. The last 4 days of travel until you reach Shradina. Is there anything you want to do, Celia?
I think for one, especially after that, definitely got to be on lookout for any other crows, just peeking by. And I guess, they've got the anti-scry, but just also still just, I guess, more so than they have been, trying to, like, keep out as much as they can of just open cover, even if it slows them down maybe a little.
Okay.
And, as they are going, eventually she'll just, So, do we have an actual plan then? Beyond just waiting for those other people?
No, I figured that they possibly would have a plan. We can't go in there by ourselves. Obviously.
I agree, but... well... I don't know. At least in terms of goals, what is it? Just... giving Dad what you think he wants? Killing him?
I think so. Stopping his madness. Stopping... This won't just save the mortals, Celia. It'll also save our people. I understand that I have no love for the other vampires, but we are still, for lack of better words, living, existing beings. I don't think all vampires are bad. I don't think they should all die. I don't think all mortals should be dead, cattled. But Father's trying to do both at the same time. The only logical step is to take him out of the equation.
So then, what do you see happening afterwards?
I haven't thought that far ahead. I know that our family, Blackmore, State, has good relations with the Kingdom of Isvaria and Dagram. With Father gone, someone has to take up the business, right? Keep that economy going.
So you aren't against Dad's business?
I've never been against Dad's business. But what he's doing isn't part of the business. Some of it he may say, but it's just more steps to getting him further from what he wants.
I mean... so, you would... would you, then? After all this is done, would you stay home?
If that's what you want. I do not want take up the business or do anything with it. I figured that might fall under your jurisdiction. I mean, you've been around it the longest. If you want me to stay, I will. If you still hate me afterwards and want me to leave, I will. But I will say that I am not willing to leave you behind any further. And I am done running.
They're still going at this point. This is just a conversation they're having at rest. But, you know, if they were still moving, definitely want to stop. I don't hate you, Gabriel. I don't. Thought I did, but I was wrong. Apparently wrong about a lot of things, but I don't know. I don't. And if it's worth anything, I'm sorry about the way things have gone. I am. And so, if it's what you want, I'd be more than happy to have at least some family still left.
I would want nothing more. I meant what I said. Didn't mean to leave you. Didn't want to leave you. I wish I was there still. Could have gone about things differently.
I don't think there was a whole lot that she could have gotten, could have done to get me to leave. I don't think that's fair. I think if anything, it would have just, well, lost you your opportunity to at least get out.
Regardless. Do this together this time.
Agreed.
Right.
We do this together.
As you
Whatever
are talking,
this becomes.
as you are talking on this night, kind of resting a little bit, and you've traveled a couple days at this point. You do hear a voice. You hear a familiar voice. It is a beautiful night. As you turn around, you see a very familiar face standing about 20 feet behind both of you. A long black hair that reaches back, a black beard, a long black and red cloak with black and red vestments, tall, thin, claws long. You see your father, Oberyn, as he says,
Oh.
"Such a wonderful night for a family reunion. How disappointing are the circumstances. Sia told me he saw you two traveling together. Of course, I was inclined not to believe him. And what do I find? He was telling the truth. So tell me, children, what is the occasion for such an unlikely event as this. He looks to Gabriel. Celia, finally restore reason within you. Are you finally coming home to repent? Or, he looks to you, Celia, has Gabriel clouded your mind, twisted your thoughts? And now, what? What I overheard, you both stand against me. Your own father. I asked you a question.
I understand it wasn't exactly the initial plan, but I figured, given the origin of everything, the best thing for us was a family reunion of sorts. Isn't it better than the alternative?
And what is the alternative, my daughter?
That we'd lose each other more than we have.
Make a persuasion? No. Make a deception check.
That's a nat 20, boy!
Get fucked, bitch.
The 2 1s have led to something.
So, I am to believe that after the conversation I heard, this was all just a misunderstanding. Just you two coming together again so that we can be a happy family. Is that what I'm to ascertain?
This is all what it's been for, is it not, Dad? All of this has been for the good of our family. For the strength of it. And well, I see this as a way of fixing what's clearly gone awry. So we are who we are. And with everything that has happened, I think we've lost that, but there's no strength in a family that cannibalizes itself.
You do have the wit of your mother about you. I'm curious. And he looks towards both of you. You, my daughter, gallivant around the kingdoms with a betrayer. Someone who attempted to kill me in the past. Someone I sent you to kill. Why do you disobey my orders? Why is he still living? And I don't want to hear because you want the family to be back together again. Why did you not kill your brother?
Oh, because I think that wasn't exactly what she wanted. Right?
So now you are putting words in my mouth, changing my mind. If it wasn't exactly what I wanted, why did I tell it to you? I
He's
gave
been
you a
gone for
task.
30 years.
Because he betrayed our family.
But I don't think it's true that there is any ill towards our family. I made a judgment, yes, but we were coming back, weren't we? we were going to be back.
Were you?
There had not been a single problem. I mean, if he was so against everything, he had every opportunity to kill me himself.
I have no doubt about that. Z looks to Gabriel. But I do wonder, why do you wear those things around your neck? Why have you been stopping my sight? I understand why he's doing, but why you? What are you hiding?
I feel it's the same reason why I have the brooch. Traveling through with people that are less than fans of who we are, of our family, it's only a matter of, well, protection and assurance. It had no direction towards you, of course. You know me, I wouldn't, you know.
Make another deception check.
That's a 19, plus, I think, 12, maybe. 12. 19 plus 12, which is 31.
Then tell me. Another question for you. I find it very odd. The last place I was able to find you, to see you, was the White Crest Mountains. Somehow, you gained that ability on your way back, I assume. Because you didn't have it on the way there. I find it curious. There are no civilizations in the White Crest Mountains. Besides two. One, small winter town, not known for anything. Another, a hidden civilization only those old enough to remember would even know about. You say that you got that to protect you from those who had ill will against you. Not from me, or others. But you seemed fit to only do so when you retrieved your brother. And somehow, you got it from the area. I am beginning to be very disappointed. These puzzle pieces do not fit. They don't add up. Where did you get those items from? Who gave them to you?
And I mean, how much is with modified memory? So it's just that Arda just appeared, gave it, and then left, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't actually know where the city is. However, Gabriel, he's been kind of gritting his teeth the whole time, but he speaks up and says, I gave it to her. They're mine. Oh, really? Just happened to have two on hand, one for you and one for your sister? Well, I figured you'd send someone after me. I hoped it'd be her. So, that's fine. You shielded yourself from other people, not me, of course. You bring back your traitorous brother, of course, to get the family back together. All makes sense. But what about the conversation I heard earlier? How you're going to stick together. How I've gone insane. How things must have an end. How about that? One of you speak up.
We've been traveling for a very long time. Please, the White Crest is quite the journey away. Could we perhaps not just go home? Gabriel's back. Isn't that worth anything? I understand the last time wasn't exactly good in any sense of the word. But times have changed. People can change.
That is true. Things can change along the way. Ideas, opinions, people. I believe that. However, you both knew as well as I have. He looks to Gabriel and says, the last time I sent you away, I told you if I ever saw your face again, I'd kill you. So, I am at a crossroads. Am I not a man of my word? Do I not uphold what I said before? And with that, I would look weak. Or should I just disregard my promise I gave?
How far away is he?
He's
He's
about
like 20 feet, and he's
20
just
feet.
standing behind. Okay.
Mhm.
Not to cut you off, but just during the middle of this, Celia will just kind of, move up, just quickly and kind of, try and, just hug him. I don't think it's going to be reciprocated at all, but, and just, as she gets there, just, please, you're doing this for family. That's what matters. Can we not just go home?
Am I? He does not hug you back as you're hugging him, but he doesn't stop you. He looks past you and says, am I doing this for family?
What matters, isn't it?
What matters is seeking revenge on those who killed your mother. If that's chalked up to family, then sure. But I do this for the single purpose to terrorize and control the mortals. Your mother died at their hand for one thing that I love. I do this for her. And he looks down to you and kind of pushes you back away.
Please. You don't need to do this, you know that. I've done everything I could. Everything that could be done for Mother, and please, this isn't going to be helping any of that. She'd want him here just as much as I do. As much as you should. Why don't we just go home? Perhaps explanations can be made, but nothing needs to happen tonight.
Oh, that is where you're wrong, daughter. I came here first so that you two cannot make a mockery of me. Do you think I'm dumb? Do you think I don't see what is happening? You disappoint me, daughter. Although I didn't have high hopes for you. One conversation with your long-lost brother, and you decide to turn against me.
Please.
You both defy me for the last time. You think that I am weak because you are my children. That you were birthed by my only love. But that does not save you from the protection from my wrath. I will no longer tolerate disrespect. I will no longer tolerate your insubordination. The only thing stopping me from killing both of you right now is the memory of your mother. And in this current moment, that is fleeting. Now I ask you this question, my children. And be careful of your next words. Did you really want to stop me? Was that your plan? Did you really to try and stop me?
I don't know what I was trying to do. I just knew that things weren't right as they were. We can fix it though, please. We should just go home. And she's again just gonna grab onto his arm.
Make a persuasion check.
Fucking Christ, it's in that one.
He doesn't look at you. And Gabriel is just, you can see that he's been like holding at his sword. He says, he places his hand on the back of your head, like gently, and says, "Don't worry. We'll go home. They say to stop a bird from wanting to fly, you must first clip its wings." And Oberyn looks to the sky, closes his eyes, and where Oberyn was once before, there's a flash of speed. And Celia, the first thing you hear is a deafening, crunching, ripping sound. The first thing you feel is a warm spray of liquid across your face. And as you slowly turn, as everything seems to be moving in slow, you see Oberyn, your father's hand, inside of Gabriel's chest like a dagger. You then watch him pull his hand out as Gabriel's eyes wide meet yours as his body falls to the ground. As you hear Oberyn say, "This was your last betrayal, my son. As he walks over to you, Celia, what are you doing?
See, as soon as she has that realization, she would want to run over to Gabriel. And I just nothing she can do. But she just wants to just try and hold him as best she can, and is just repeatedly just saying that she's sorry. Probably starting to cry as well.
As you see the blood start to trickle out of Gabriel's mouth, Oberyn just kind of kneels down next to you on the opposites. You're facing Gabriel this way, he kneels down this way, not looking. And he says, I grieve with you, my daughter. My heart aches. I had to kill my favorite child. But Gabriel has betrayed me for the last time. My child, my children, working against their own blood, their own father. What have I done to deserve this? I see it only fair that I gave your brother a second chance, that I should give you one as well, Celia. However, you will not be banished from our home as he was. I will not send you away. Instead, you will be returning home with me. You will be punished for your crimes and used as an example for what happens when you betray. I will not give you the luxury of death as I did not with your brother. No, you will suffer for what you have conspired. You will know my pain, my heartache, my agony. You will beg me for forgiveness or beg me for death, but only when I have assured that every ounce of hope, every ounce of betrayal has been purged from your soul. Only then will I cease. Only pain. Only when will I stop. That is my promise to you, traitorous daughter. And the last thing you feel is a mallet of a hand strike across your face as you fall to the ground. As you hang on to consciousness, you look over to your brother's corpse and you see the chest rising ever so slightly. And you can see some of the wounds are starting to heal themselves. Signs of life. But you then feel a boot strike across your face as your vision goes black. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Ooh. Woo! Look at that.
Gabriel's dead.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little shitty that we just set y'all here to die. I'm very sorry. Ow.
They're not dead.
We're living.
They're not in a good
Alright.
position. I mean, they're kind of fucked. What do you mean? Oofa.
Oofa.
With that, we'll see where that story leads. I will say that, well, the last thing that Oberyn said to you is you are going home. And the last thing you saw was Gabriel was technically still alive. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. We shall see what happens. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.